Hi, and welcome to Edmondi's Tvet Learning Management System Academy. In this tutorial, we are going to explore how to transform an ordinary Moodle course into an engaging learning adventure using Moodle game maps. Okay, so instead of simply presenting learners with a long list of lessons and activities, we are going to organize this image into a visual journey where a student can progress from one competence, to the next. In this example, we are going to use a building construction course to illustrate how gamification can support competence-based learning in Tvet. So this is how the building construction game map works. Each of the numbered stages here represents a competence, represents a stage that is involved when building a house. Okay, so we want to go through all the stages from the foundation up to the roof. Okay, so students will begin at the start level and then work their way through the construction points, until the house is roofed. Now you can see it is only the first one which is open, okay, and the rest of the stages are locked. So that means you have to finish one stage before the next one can be accessed. Okay, so rather than simply completing lessons, learners, while using game maps, they feel they are progressing through a construction project, and this makes the learning experience more engaging and meaningful. So let us see how we do this. So our editing mode is turned on. Okay, then we create an activity. So we are looking for a game map that is an interactive content type under H5P. So we click there, we add, give it a name. You can go ahead and describe a package file. I want to start from scratch, so I'll come to the content bank. I come to add, I choose game map. Okay, I choose game map. Here we are. Give it a title, building construction adventure, and I want this title to show on the screen. Okay, now the introduction, you can put something about about the game. Maybe this game tests your understanding of whatever you will put. Then if you want to put an image or a video on the introduction, you would put that. Okay, but the most important now is the image which is going to work as our map. So I'll look for that image. Okay, so I have it here, and then I can choose the color, not important now. Then I came to the game map. Now, when you look at this image here, we have all disclaimer before we proceed. Civil is not my area of specialization, but I just found this very important. But in this image here, we have all the stages that are involved in constructing a house from the first step up to the roof. So in each of these steps, the learner is supposed to access different type of content. It could be an image, they could look at a video, audio, it could be a quiz, okay, depending on the choice of the instructor. So let us come to our first stage. So we add a stage and we are calling it safety. User can start here, we check that. So what content do we want? We want to see maybe an image that shows something about safety, okay? So we have our image here that shows the PPE, okay? We provide alternative text for accessibility, and then we click done, okay? So we align this here. Now, number 2, so after the learner going through safety, they proceed to stage 2, okay? So in stage 2, maybe they should watch a video about the tools. So I'll come to and insert a video, okay? So I'll look for a video about construction tools and materials. Let me pick this. Then I paste it. You could, just upload it, but it's better to paste the link. Otherwise, if you keep uploading, then your activity will become very heavy, which may slow down the system. So I insert, and then I click done, okay? So I align this here. Now, we say this is a learning path from point 1 up to the last. So I need to put some connection between the first stage and the second stage, okay? So how are we going to do that? So we have our 2 stages now, safety and then materials, but we don't want the learner to simply jump from one stage to another. So before coming to stage 2, they must have completed whatever is in stage 1. So we need to find ways of locking, stage 2. So under the settings, we come to roaming, okay? Roam freely, no. We want to complete so that we are able to clear the stage and then should be able to see all the unlocked stages, okay? So if we can now preview, so this is the learner, we'll click start. We need to establish a connection between stage 1 and stage 2. So let me come to stage 2, and under connected stage, I check that, okay? You can see those dots, okay? So if I save and preview, you can see my stage 2 is locked, meaning I cannot access what is in stage 2 until I complete the first one. Good. So we do that for all the other stages. So I edit, I come back to image map. So now I go to the third stage. Stage 3. Stage 3 is about drawings, reading drawings, reading drawings. How am I going to present this? Okay, so I have some notes here about drawings. So I'll use maybe accordion. This is drawing, then the text is this. Okay. You can add on other panels, but for purposes of saving time, we are stopping at that. Okay, so this is it here, and it will be connected to is there a stage we didn't name? Okay, we come back to our stage 2. Okay, this is what we didn't name. This was tools and materials. And materials, so we click done. Okay, so our stage 3 should be connected to stage 2, tools and materials. So stage 2 is tools and materials. This is stage 2. Okay, and then we save. Okay, so I come back to edit image map. Stage 3, I want to insert a fill-in question there in stage 3. Okay, so I'll come and I add content. What type of content? Fill in blank. Okay, fill in the missing word. So I'm saying reading construction drawings helps builders understand the dash and dimensions of a structure. The answer should be layout. Okay, layout. Then I save. Good. Okay, now I need my padlocks to lock these stages. Okay, so I'll come to maps, roaming. I said no roaming, see all. Okay, we save. If we preview, we start. We need the connection here. Come back to edit, image map. Okay, it is there. Then I go to the next stage. Stage 4 is about measurement and setting out. Okay, measurement and setting out, and that one I'll simply stage. This is stage 4. It is measurement and setting out. So we name it stage 4. Setting out and measurement. Setting out and measurement. what content do I want? A question set, background image, then question type, multimedia, okay, and then the image to display, that is optional here. Then I'll come to the question. I have a question here: which instrument is used in measuring angles? Okay, I have it here. Then I upload an image. So we have one here, and a second image. So the learner will choose from the two images. Okay, alternative text, and then click done and save. So let us first see. Okay, so let us preview and see how far we've gone. If we click start, we're supposed to have these locked, so we come back to edit. Okay, under behavior settings, the maps, complete to clear. Then let us see all stages, and we save. Okay, so when we click start, okay, so you see number one is unlocked because this is our starting point, but you won't be able to go to stage 2 until you complete stage 1. Okay, so we move and we complete all the other stages. Okay, stage 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so stage 7, which is our roofing, stage 7, roofing. Okay, we can use an image, okay, to show the different components of roofing. There we are. And we connect it to stage 6. Okay, click done. And we save. Let's see. Okay. See, this padlock is supposed to be on 7, so we come back to edit, game map, and we pull this to 7 here. Okay, then finally our stage 8. Stage 8 is completion. So completion, we could also have maybe a video roofing completion. Roofing completion. Okay, we need to show learners how roofing can be completed. Okay, just pick this. Okay, so I'll have video type, then I paste this and insert, and it is connected to stage 7. Okay, so this is where we are. 6. Okay, this is 4, 5, this is 8, then this is 6. Okay, so if we save and then we start our course, okay, well, this is perfect. So the learner will begin from 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if we can sample, you will begin 1, read about protective equipment, and then once that one is done, you see 2 is unlocking. So we come to 2, watch the video, and then after it unlocks, then we come to 3. We attempt this, builders understand that we put the answer, layout, we check it is correct, and then we continue, stage 4. Okay, so you would attempt all this until the very last step. Okay, so that's all I had for today. In conclusion, gamification in Moodle is simply more than just adding points. It is about designing a meaningful learning experience that will keep the learners motivated and focused to complete a course. So with Moodle game maps, a Tvet trainer can transform the traditional online course into an interactive learning journey that reflects a real workplace, process, what takes place in a work process, and encourage learners to complete every stage. Thank you for watching.